Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. From scrapping the angel tax to launching schemes to boost domestic investments to simplifying taxation norms, expectations are running high for the startup ecosystem ahead of the Union Budget 2024. My colleague Aishwarya Anand caught up with venture capitalists on the sidelines of JIIF event to understand what the honchos are expecting. Take a look.
Tell me, what are some of your key demands from government when it comes to, the allocations that you're looking at from budget?
Very similar stuff to what we have been asking for all the time, right? There has to be like maybe two things. There has to be number one, parity between the Indian investor circle and what the capital that comes from foreign, right? In terms of like the capital that comes into the venture capital funds, right? There are questions around how those taxations are treated, how the GST is treated. There has to be a little more clarity on that. And the second thing that I keep hearing from a lot of government bodies is that there has to be a lot more policy certainty, right? So while I think we have come a long way in kind of thinking about and ensuring it, but I think we still have some distance to cover.
From B Founders Circle's perspective, I want to understand what are some of your key asks from the upcoming budget session?
So I personally feel that now fund of fund is required because the fund which was allocated to CIDB is now consumed, and I think now it's the time to have more funds of funds where probably fund managers like us can go, and practically speaking we can invest back in the economy, number one, which is an ask. Second is, as we talked about, the angel tax, which we talked about. Third, I think there are so many incubation centers and IITs. I think we should have a partnership with the funds like us, where we can go there, we can really send our startups also to incubate in those centers. There can be some partnerships there where government is encouraging. There should be some incentive scheme to private players like us to be sending our startups to IITs or their incubation centers where they can get the complete facilities and other things. So that's also going to be one of the asks.
DPIIT has recommended scrapping off angel tax. Help me understand, how do you view it, and do you think we will see a positive result in the upcoming budget when it comes to that?
So in general, the initiative is outstanding, right? This has been a demand from the industry for a very, very long period of time, right? I think this was exactly an example of a scenario where government actually wanted to do something right, but the way the initial policy was drafted wasn't really right? So the government is actually kind of taking a relook at it, and I think it is something that the entire industry is cheering. I am very positive that this budget will do something very meaningful. I know that there have been industry bodies which have been working with the government on and ensuring that this has been done, so I'm very, very positive.
How soon do you think the government will pick this up, and do you think it should be one of the big asks before the budget session begins?
Yes, from last almost about 2-3 years we are asking for it, and I personally feel on this budget day it's going to be scrapped. Because government is in favor of startups. Government is favor of this kind of a first time capital which is coming, which is an angel capital which is coming. So there is no reason to discourage that. There can't be any reason. So I'm quite hopeful that this time this demand will be accepted.
Well, those were some of the expectations that the startup ecosystem has from Budget 2024. Moving on, it's Friday.